Hi everyone, Jim Egan, head of school, Synapse School with a Friday update. We're in the middle of September. Things are great. Calendar is full. Kids programming is really taking off. Remember, parents, next week after school programs start, I believe. There are some great offerings. Sports teams are on a roll already. Cross country had a meet. 8th grade girls volleyball won their first match. And things are moving along. So we had back to school night this week, Wednesday, and great turnout, I thought. The vibe was excellent, fun, warm, engaging, curious. Thank you, parents who came. But I did hear from some who got stuck in traffic or couldn't make it due to childcare, what have you. And I wanted to share a couple things from that night, because I think it's important to recognize why we have that evening in the format that we have chosen for families and for staff. So one, it's an open house format. That is because we're trying to get away from the frenetic, hectic 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, teacher here, teacher there, go, 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 wait in the hallway, ring the bell, go. I've gone through that. We've done that before. We don't think that produces anything but stress and anxiety. I've never seen it work well. Lots of schools do it. That's fine. But we have intentionally chosen an open house format to allow people to come in and out. So that's why we do that. We want to create less stress. That's one of my huge goals for the year, right? To be sure that I'm recognizing anxiety and doing whatever I can to be the keeper of equanimity. So that was intentional. That the first hour is also a time for us to set the tone. Again, we tried to set a tone that was playful. We tried to set a tone that was reflective. I think you saw Katie and Stephanie, our division heads, their enthusiasm, their operational acumen, their accuracy with what we do in our program. They're amazing, right? I wanted to showcase those two, and certainly Brian in the EDC, Liz in the BLC, Natalie and what she does in terms of the performing arts. Those were all key. And May, of course, May with SEL. These are important design elements of our school. And so they're key that every one of our members understands what the BLC is and does for our teachers and most importantly, our students. People need to know what Brian and his team are doing in the Engineering and Design Center, because it's one of a kind, just like the BLC. And we are known for our SEL programming and our wraparound EQ experience for kids, teachers, and families. That's of paramount importance. So we're going to highlight that stuff. And then I have a few minutes to try to entertain you and set the mood. But also what I was really trying to impart was that as parents, I want you to think deeply about why you picked Synapse, right? And I highlighted a few things that we weren't, but more importantly, what we were. And again, I'm gonna read from my script here. I read something from Dr. Roth, president of Wesleyan University, that was in the New York Times opinion piece about learning as a social experience, right? And he said, ultimately, the true student learns freedom by developing curiosity, judgment, and creativity in the service of one's own good and the good of their communities. This flourishing is different from being trained by an instructor to do a task or earn a badge, and it is different from the satisfaction one gets from acquiring objects or experiences in the marketplace, right? We don't have letter grades in the middle school. We are not big on external awards. We are huge on intrinsic motivation. So that's one of the things that we do here, right? This environment that we create, this garden that you have put your children into to grow amongst other nourishing plants, is all about teaching kids agency and intrinsic motivation, and it's a process, right? I also went on to read, on campus, students do learn specific tasks and they do enjoy experiences, and you heard all about that in the classrooms, of course. But as students, they are doing something more fundamental and more open-ended. They are learning freedom by learning who they are and what they can do, including how they might think. This is always almost always happening in concert with others. That's huge, right? Our kids and adults are surrounded by other kids and adults who care, who are creative, are curious, who are bright, and they are working together with the same values and the same principles to maximize the learning experience and to hopefully even create some sort of self-actualization, right? That's what we're striving for. That's what you signed up for, parents. And so I really wanted to make that clear. This isn't a program that is going to be one-on-one, like tutor to kid or highly individualized, right? Yes, of course, certain kids are going to be able to do certain things at different rates and a different pace. And we have low floor, high ceilings projects. We're using all kinds of new technology, particularly in literacy and math, to make sure certain kids who are a little more further along in skills acquisition can continue on that road. And those who need some help getting up to speed, they're gonna get that too. That's why we have a learning center as well. And so, yes, that's important. But ultimately, our students, your kids, are learning together in a shared experience. That's what we believe in. Maybe other schools don't, but we believe that humans flourish amongst humans. And that's what we're sticking to. So I also asked parents to think about their kids during the back to school night presentation and experience. The parents should think about their kids not as 7-year-olds becoming 8-year-olds or lower schoolers becoming middle schoolers or middle schoolers preparing for high school, but think about your child as a 25-year-old. I think that is always a good reflection for younger parents, because a 25-year-old is a very different child. By the way, they're still your child if you are a parent. So thinking about a 25-year-old gives you some perspective and will take you out of that sort of vortex of anxiety that can happen for younger parents, particularly in areas like ours. So that's my message. Have a great weekend. Thanks again for those who came out back to school night. If you did miss it, reach back out. We have all kinds of notes and slideshows, and your teachers prepped incredible presentations, and they want to hear from you. Okay, take care.